Here we have my small joint and planer combination. Everything on this machine works good enough, except for the fence. First of all, there's movement in the fence. Even though I bolted it down firmly, the mechanism is just not strong enough. And the other problem is that the fence itself is not flat and straight. In the front you can see the squares touching the fence on the bottom and on the top. And in the back you can see the squares touching at the bottom, and on top is a gap. And you can also see how flimsy this whole mechanism is. The whole thing is just secured with 2 screws onto the machine. So I think I can build something better than this.
So first of all I have to get rid of the old fence. Fortunately this doesn't take long because of only 2 screws.
So I have 3 holes in the outfeed table and 1 slot here and a base for a carriage bolt that I can use. So let's see what I can make. So here's my prototype. I have a carriage bolt in the slot here, and this fits on top, and 2 bolts fit inside these 2 holes. This piece now is mounted really securely and I can attach a fence to it, but this is just a prototype. Now I make the same thing again, but a little bit bigger in this direction and in this direction.
I took another scrap of birch plywood and cut a notch into it so it fits around a guard of the cutter head. Then I marked and drilled the holes for the bolts that screw into the outfeed table. And then the bigger holes from the other side to sink the bolts way into the wood. And then the hole for the carriage bolt. Then I screwed it all to the machine and checked the alignment with a straight edge. Looks good. Now I can make the fence support piece. I transferred the middle to the mounting piece, and with it I could find a good position for a T-nut. Then just drilling all the necessary holes for the T-nut. Then I made box joints for the fence support pieces. But before gluing them together I have to make the slot that allows me to move the fence across the cutter head. I made the slot in 3 passes. Then I glued the pieces together and made sure that they are square. That's another big advantage of box joints. They are pretty much self-squaring, and if not, it's really easy to make them perfectly square. I actually made the joint not for the strength, but for the simple alignment. Now to make the support rigid, I cut 2 triangles from scrap. And after removing the black laminate, I glued them in place. I only use glue and clamps, no nails or screws, which might get in contact with the knives from the cutter head. While I'm waiting for the glue to dry, I cut out the knob for tightening the fence. And I hammer a carriage bolt into a riser piece. With a cutout for the carriage bolt head in the knob, I now glue the 2 pieces together. While that glue dries, I can make the fence piece. I set the table saw fence to the width of the old jointed fence and cut the fence piece from some laminated birch plywood.
Now I can try it out. Well, it basically works, but I think I need to add some guiding blocks. Now with a block here and a block here, the fence can't move around very much.
Then I put the fence piece at the right position so it is centered between the infeed and outfeed table. I marked the mounting holes with a drill bit, drilled the holes and screwed the fence on.
Now it's basically done. Let's check if it's square. And as you can see, it's definitely not square. Big light gap here, but I can turn a screw at the mounting plate that moves the whole mounting plate, and with it I can bring it into square. Perfect.
To try it out, I have a piece of wood that definitely has a rough and not square edge. And after jointing with the new fence, I have a nice and square surface.
Now I have a reliable jointer fence that I can move across the table. And for storage, it still fits under the bandsaw table.